Hi everyone, this is Jan, and I'm going to be stitching out the little topper that we did the other day and put and saved in our machine, the one with the stipple stitching. So what I've done at this moment, I've put some no-show stabilizer in my 9.5 by 14 hoop. This topper is a 9-inch round circle. I have some fusible batting. This is use any fusible batting you have. This happens to be one I get at Gloria Horn Sewing. It's a heavier weight fusible batting, and I have cut this a 10 by 10 because my design is a 9-inch circle. I have loaded my machine with some green thread. I am doing St. Patrick's Day fabric for this little design, and I am ready to stitch the batting. Well, you do your placement line first, so let's take this off. I'm sorry. And the first thing we're going to do is stitch our placement line. So go ahead and get your machine ready, and I will turn this on, stitch it out, and then I will come back to the video. I'm thinking this is going to be a little too loud to go ahead and run it. Let's try it and see. Now I'm going to stop my machine at this point. I'm going to push the green button and stop it. This is a placement line for your batting, and I do not need it to stitch 2 times. My design center automatically does that for you. It will stitch twice, but if you don't need it 2 times, I stop the machine, just push in the green button to stop it. Then I take my and touch my scissor button. Okay, and then that will stop the machine, and then what I will do is go into my add and plus needle button on my machine. I don't know if I can turn this camera around so you can see it. Let me see if I can. Real close here, I'm sorry. Anyway, push this button here. Okay, and I want to go to the next stitch. So let's go ahead and push forward this one. Okay, and that one will bring up my, that one will bring up my batting line. See how it says clay brown? And that's the color I used on the batting. And then to get out of this, you just go ahead and push OK. All right. Now let's move this back over here. I'm sorry for the inconvenience on the cameras. I'm not real techy. I've got one camera and that's it. Okay. So we've done our placement line, and that is real close to our batting. So let's go ahead. We want the fusible side up on our batting. I just place this a little bit over where the top of that line is, smooth it out. And I run my machine on 500 stitches per minute, or whatever they call it. I don't run my machine full blast. Okay, let's go ahead and start that. And remember, this is that line that we did 8.95 inches. Now once that is finished, what I'll do is I'll take my little curved scissors here and I will trim around this batting. Okay, so we'll go in and I lay it flat and I just trim right around that batting. Okay. Most of the time I have to stand up to do this. I just don't want to take the camera off of the shot here. Now the heavier batting is a little harder to cut, a little thicker. It's not harder, it's just thicker. So a lot of times I will stand up so I don't have to pull the hoop out like that. Let's see here. Gets stuck on the batting. Let's go back around here and we'll cut around here like that. Now I got the back. Oops, sorry. Okay, got one more piece. There's that. Alright, don't worry about these little ends that are sticking out here, okay? If you have a big wide piece here, yeah, go ahead and do something. So that is stitched the batting part there. And the batting part, if you lift this up, you can see that the outside line, the outer stitch is still there, but the batting is just a hair inside on that one. Okay, so we have the batting line there, and what we want to stitch next is the inner circle. So the inner circle is going to be this color, and the inner circle, let's see, I have cut this inner circle. The circle is 6 inches, so I have cut it an 8-inch square for this. And also, I put on some SF 101 or lightweight interfacing on the back of this. You always want to do that with anything that's going to have embroidery on the top. Okay, so you can see my machine is inside here, so I know it's going to stitch on the inner circle. So what I do is I don't do a placement line on this. I know that if I bring this up a little past that needle there, and it's down here near the end and it's close to each side here, I know I have enough space to do that inner circle. I have enough fabric to cover it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and stitch the inner circle. Alright, that is stitched. Now we don't want to do any trimming on this until after we do the stipple stitch. So we want to go ahead and do our stipple stitch. That's what's showing up on my screen here. So I have the right color of thread in there, so let's just go ahead and stitch that. Okay, that didn't take too long. Now I am going to, well, I could leave it on that because we're not going to be doing any other decorative stitch. Now at this point, this is where you would want to trim your inner circle fabric to about 1/4 of an inch all the way around your circle. Okay, so let's do that. It can be just rough cut it, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna stand up here so I can get around the circle. I try to not take my hoop out any more than I have to. That makes a lot of wear and tear on those hoop sensors, and I just had my Solaris in there for repair on the hoop sensors. So if you can avoid taking it out while you're cutting, I wish they'd make a button where it would move your hoop out so that you could cut. You wouldn't have to stand up to cut it. Move it out like it is now, and then you could go ahead and do all your cutting and everything without taking your hoop out. All right, the next thing we want to do is put our fabric over the top. It's going to cover everything. And what I like to do is I like to take my hoop out for this, and being the fusible is up, I want to go ahead and iron on the top piece of fabric. So I'm going to go turn on my iron and iron this on, and I'll be right back. Now what that does when you iron that is it leaves a nice smooth edge on your fabric, so it's not going to buckle or anything, and you can tell it's ironed on because when you lift up the corner here, it's stuck to the fusible batting that you have down, and it just makes a really nice finish for you. Okay, so we have that on, and what we want to do is we want to stitch that all down. Okay, so let's go ahead and stitch that down. The next thing we want to do is stitch the inner circle, and you know it's going to stitch the inner circle. That was our color purple, and you saw the machine jump into the inner section of the design, and so we're going to go ahead and stitch that inner circle. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is cut the center piece of fabric out. I think I might have mentioned that in the other video there. I got a little, where my thread broke. I'll get that little snag up there. So the easiest way that I do to get that center fabric going, I have my little snippies. And let's see, put these under the, no, like that. And these are little snippy scissors. I get these at Gloria Horn Sewing. I forget the name of, I know they're snippies, but make sure you get the ones that are the rainbow color. I have a straight pin here, and what I do is I stick the straight pin in the fabric above and lift it. Let's see here, let me move the camera down some. Okay, see it's straight now. I lift it up, the fabric up, and I take these little snippies and I snip right at the end of where the needle is, to make a little hole in the fabric big enough so that I can slide my scissors in up underneath that. Now my scissors is up underneath, and then I can use these little snippies to go ahead and go completely around this and cut it out. I mean, I have to get in an angle to do this, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I have to be at a different angle, everyone. You're not gonna see me. I gotta get my hand in the right position here to do this in front of the machine. So then I'm gonna stand up. You might be able to see it. Yeah, you'll be able to see it better going this direction. My snippies are right on the edge of those stitches that goes around. And because they're curved, they're not going to cut your thread. It's going to cut it real close to the line there that you just got through stitching. Okay. Now let's come up here. I got a little bit further to go. Okay. Now, see, there's that circle. Now I'm going to show another video how you can turn this circle into your little coasters. But that'll be a different day and a different video. Now check your circle to see if you have any threads that are coming up, and I just take my fingernail and pull them towards me like that, and then I just go ahead and clip them. If I think they're too long, you might want to hold the bottom of your hoop where the stabilizer is. And then I just blow on it, get it out of the way. Go up here. Okay, I'm just going to check this real quick. It looks pretty good to me. And the reason I do a wider candle wick stitch is so I don't have to cut this real close. Now I'm going to stand up and I'm going to, I have some frayed edges. I'm just going to cut those frays off. But I don't have to cut this real close. Okay. Now all those are off. Alright, that's done. Now we want to do the candle wicking. So this color of green, it looks good, but you know, I might want a darker green on that. So I have a little drawer right here, and I think I might want a darker green. Now when I'm checking for the candle wicking, here's what I do. I get my thread out and I lay it right up here like that, and then I go ahead and lay the thread across where my inner fabric is, just across the top there. Now that would be a darker green, and let me check a lighter green. So I might put the lighter green up here, lay that across. Now I don't like that green. I think I'm going to do it the same color that I have in there, which is this color that matches here. This one's too yellowy. I don't want that one. And this one would be way too dark. At least I think it would be. See, there's nothing that's that dark in the fabric. So I'm going to go ahead. Now another color you could add, you could add a gold to that. Let's get a gold out here. Let's try a gold and lay a gold out here. Ooh, I like the gold. You know, I'm going to do the gold instead of the green. Yeah, I like the gold. But that's how I audition what I want for the candle wicking. And you might want to do that too. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead. Now let me stitch a few stitches in this candle wicking so that you can see what it's doing before I go ahead and shut off the video, and then I'll come back after I get it finished. Okay, I'm going to try to start it, and I'll move the camera up there, and then I'm going to pause the camera and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, let's start it. Okay, now we have our candle wicking done. Isn't that pretty? I love that candle wicking. And I don't have any thread showing at all because we made our candle wicking a lot bigger than what is in another video that Gloria did. She makes hers a little smaller. I make mine a little bigger because I don't want any pokies coming out. Alright, so the next thing we want to do, we've got one more step and we are finished. And what I like to do is, this is the back part of your topper. And what I do, now this one here, how I measure this is whatever my topper is, this is 9 inches. So let's go up 10 inches and then double that, so that would be 20. So you'd have a piece that's at least 20 inches long, and our topper is 9 inches round, so I usually do 11. This one's a little smaller because the fat quarter wasn't cut 22 inches, it was cut 20. So I'm really pushing it with this one here. Now the first one I put on, here's the fold right here. I do this one right in the center. See the two marks here, there, and right there in your hoop? Move that up to where it's right in the center. Come on, get up there. Check it, yep. And it's down here. So, right here and right there. Put it on the top so that when you turn it inside out, this will create a straight line right in the center, okay? Now the next one, here's the fold right here, and we're going to go up about 2 notches on the hoop there. So this is probably 1.5 inches or something, but I just want to make sure it covers the edges there, which it does. And this one over here, see, that one can go up a little more. All right, so we have it where we want it, and then I have some Kimberbell tape here. You can use medical tape. I do a strip about like that. You can use these a couple of times on a project. Okay, I want this to be right here. Press down. Press that to the outside. Do another strip. I do not do a strip all the way across. I try to save on my tape. So here, go right in the middle between that fold. Press down. Now you have a design where the center part is not on the solid base of your machine here. You don't want to press down. You'll be pressing down out here. It'll move your stabilizer in the hoop. Okay? Now I'm just checking. Yes, it's on the outside circle there, and you can tell on your screen there where the plus, the green plus sign is on your screen. Now I'm going to show you how to slow the machine down right here when you get to the taped area. What you're going to do is you're going to push your green button to stop it. And then once it stops, you're going to push the green arrow and you're going to hold it in until you get it stitches over the tape part here, and then just let the machine go. Alright, so here we go. Let's start it. Now when it gets over here, I'm going to stop it. Okay, see, I stopped right before the tape there. Now I'm going to push the green button again and hold on to it. Until it gets past that fold. We released it and then we'll continue on. Stop it again because we're close to the tape there. Press and hold till I get over the fold. Now you go ahead and release it. Okay, everyone. Everybody knows that sound. That is the end of our design. Our design takes about 20 minutes. So then what I would do next is I would go ahead and take my hoop out. And you can take the tape off right here. And when I take the tape off, what I do is I save the larger pieces because I can use those one more time. And I try to use them one more time, the longer pieces there. And the shorter ones. Sometimes you can use the shorter ones like on your coasters. You know, if you're doing little coasters, you could save them. Boy, that sticks. Sticks a lot, at least on this fabric. Whee, pulls everything off, boy. Okay. And then what I go ahead and do is unhoop this. So I'm gonna take my hoop adjuster here, this little thingy here, and I'm just releasing it, releasing my hoop. Put that down. Now I usually take the whole hoop over there to the ironing board, but I wanted to show you this under the deal here. Okay, so here, oh, don't do that. There we go. So the next thing I want to do is to I have a set of pinking shears, and I use the pinking shears and cut all the way around this, and then I turn it okay, here's the pinking shears. I think these are, they might be Fiskars. I don't know what brand they are. I've had them a long time. They're real easy to use, but Gloria Horn sells some really nice pinking shears also. And then I have this turning tool that I also get from Gloria Horn. It's metal. I like it because it's real long and it won't roll off your table. The way it's designed, it won't roll off. So it's real nice. So once you do the pinking shears and cut around it, then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it inside out, and then I'm going to run this hook around the edge there. Once I cut it out, see, your design's going to show through, and then you run this all around the outside edge, and that's going to get your outside edges nice and smooth. And then I will go ahead and iron it. And when I iron it, I lay it down and I smooth the edges under. I don't think I can't get my camera over there. The ironing board is too far away. But I go ahead and smooth the edges to where they're in the back there. Let's see if I can at least cut this out, okay? For you, so you can see what it's gonna do. Always wants to stick on that stabilizer. Okay, can you see? No. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut it. I cut it to where it's, I don't even know if it's 1/4 of an inch. I have no idea what this pinking shear will do, but you know, just enough. I think 1/4 inch would be too much. I think I cut it smaller than that around the edge. I'll show you as soon as I get this cut out, okay? But I go all the way around. I try to do this so I don't have to stop the video. Okay. Now the reason I use the pinking shears is because I don't have to clip the little corners. You know how you have to with your scissors. Okay, so there's the corners. I get about that close to it. Now I'm going to turn it inside out. So let's turn it inside out. Then what you're going to do, I usually take my fingers first and push on the outside edge there. Do that first. I just use my fingers like that. Let's see, where's the edge? Not quite out far enough. Just run my finger that way first. See, just to get the edges out like that. And then you can run this little tool. If you have a chopsticks, crochet hook works real nice too. But see how I run it along the edge there? People use different things. Just don't use anything that is really, really sharp. This has a ball end on it, so it's not gonna hurt your fabric or poke through your fabric. Pokes through your fabric, you're gonna be real upset. Because there's no way you can save it. Alright, so I have that. Now once I have that, then I go ahead, I flip it over on the ironing board, and what I do is I take and I want to mash that under like that. The back fabric, you want to mash it under like that, and then put it You can kind of smoosh it and roll it. See, now I can't see the back fabric, so you roll it on your ironing board and then you iron it. Okay, so you roll your top fabric over the bottom fabric to where it's not going to show when you look at it. And that's the reason why we did our batting a little bit smaller, so that we could roll that. And also the reason we did our last stitch for our sew out for the backing, I used the batting line, not the outside line. And the reason for that is, if you don't do that, you can have a thread show right here. Now I have one, hold on. And I'll show you in this little topper right here. Let's see if I can get under the light. Can you see that little running stitch right there? See it right here? That's because this was stitched using the outer circle line, the red one we save in the sewing machine. But if you use the batting line, which we did at 8.95, you can see we do not have a stitch line at all on that back side. And you have a nice clean edge there. See, you don't have that line. And I couldn't figure out why, when I first started doing these, I would have that line. I thought, why? Why do I have that? So after a little bit of research, then it finally dawned on me to do it this way, to pull it inside a little bit so that you wouldn't have that line on there. Okay, so what I would do is go ahead and do that. Then I would go ahead and iron that to where when you flatten that down, you're not going to see that back fabric. See, I can see it a little bit poking out, but I'll iron that so that we get that ironed out. Okay, then what you want to do, this is Steam-A-Seam 2. Let's see, there we go. You can also get this on Gloria Horn Sewing. It's a double stick fusible tape. Once you get this all ironed and everything, and you get this pulled a little bit, so you can pull this a little bit up when you iron it. This one here, when you have this side down too, take this, pull it up a little bit, like that. Pull that edge up a little bit, and then iron that edge. And then when you go and put your Steam-A-Seam on, make sure you have that done and ironed nice and flat. And then you'll take a string of the Steam-A-Seam. I'll pull this out a little bit, and I will take that. There we go. Now what I like to do when I'm putting this in is I'll take the end of that. Let me get somewhere where you can see it. Take the end. This is the paper side. This is the sticky side on the back. Take it and bend it and push on it so that you have a line on it. So the paper is bent down. Here's the sticky. And then when you put it in your topper, you lay it down like that, and you hold it with this finger like that, and then you go ahead and lay it in there like that, and then it will stay in there. Okay, and then you'll iron it. Then when you iron it, let it cool, and then when it's cool, you peel that paper off, and then you lay this back down, and you re-iron it again for your last seam. So you iron it twice when you're doing that seam, but that's an easy way so that you can get that tape off or the paper off after you've ironed it to the back side, it'll just peel off. Don't try to peel it off when it's hot. Okay, you have to let it cool, and then it'll peel off real nice. If you do it the other way, you're gonna peel off everything. I've done that a few times. It wasn't cool enough. Okay, you seal that up. You flip it over. Now, when you flip it over, what I like to do is use a press cloth. Now, this is just a piece of cotton fabric that I use as a press cloth. So once you get that steam-a-seam on, you want to go ahead and flip it over. You want to put your press cloth over the top of all your embroideries, like that, and then you go ahead and iron it down. I never put a hot iron on any kind of embroideries. Okay, you can do it on the back side, but I don't do it on top of the embroideries. I don't want it to scorch anything or anything like that, and then that way they stay nice and clean, and it works out real good. And then go ahead and iron that, and then your topper is finished. And this is another topper that I did quite a while ago. And again, this is a St. Patrick's Day topper that I did, and I'll be showing everybody how to do one like this in IQ Designer also. So this one turned out real cute. Has your backing on that. That's a real cute little design. I would redo all of that because it's too narrow for me. I did this before I knew how to do Gloria Horn's videos. But anyway, you can do them with scallops. You can do them all kinds of shapes in there when you're doing IQ Designer. So thank you everyone again for watching the video. Again, be sure you like and subscribe and share it with your sewing friends. Make sure you like, because YouTube wants to know that you like these videos and you want to see more, so it helps me out. I'm just starting out building my sewing channel. I have a painting channel that I've had for a couple of years up, and I didn't want to mix my sewing with my painting, so I started a new sewing channel. So anyway, if you want to see more videos, like I say, there's just me with one camera, and I'm trying to give you the best shots I can give, but I'm not real techie, okay? So you have to I just film it like it sews out, mistakes and all, and that's what you get, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.